It's a pleasure to have you on this edition of the AM show. Thank you so much for making time to be a part. I'm Bernice Abubeidulan. So much earlier, you saw my colleague Benjamin Akapo interacting with Dr. Tremi Tiahene on the issues around HIV/AIDS prevalence in Ghana, the availability of antiretroviral drugs for persons living with HIV, and how to reduce infections. It's now time to bring you a quick update on what's happening in the Volta region on the spillage of the Akosombo Pond dams, which has led to flooding in the area. And this morning I've been joined by Amos Ahosu. He's assembly member for the Mepe electoral area. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time this morning. So we understand that the Vice President has toured parts of the Volta region which have been flooded as a result of the spillage. And we also understand that relief items have started trickling in. What can you tell us about what you've received so far in terms of relief?
Yeah, thanks so much for the opportunity, and a good morning to your cherished listeners. Actually, we were being heavily supported by NADMO, the National NADMO. The last time the president was also here, Honorable Kudetu Abrafwa, this is his constituency. So he has been supporting just yesterday some rice, oil, anything you can think of, water. He has been trying his best in that area. Philanthropies, organization bodies, churches, they are all helping in their small way. They are all helping. And actually, we started having things. But looking at the situation, we still need more.
we were told that the spillage will likely end anytime soon, but we're yet to receive a concrete confirmation because the rains have still been coming in. What are you able to tell us about the flood situation proper? Is it getting worse, or the water has begun to recede? What have you noticed?
Yeah, actually, it has stopped. Where it has receded before, it's still there, and it's not moving, it's not going back, it's not coming on to. So it will be our fervent wishes that it stays so and go back finally.
Right, so the situation is not getting worse, at least. Right, so how are the items being distributed? We know that there are some people who have moved to safer ground. There are others who are also in shelters. How is the distribution of relief items happening?
Yeah, some of the relief items, when they brought them, they send it to my traditional authorities. They will take delivery of it before sharing it. Other bodies, when they come, they go on their own. Yeah, they go on their own to distribute whatever. Even yesterday, when Honorable Kudetu Abrafwa came with his items, he met with the traditional authorities and then they started the distribution. So that is what is happening now.
Right, and we also understand that there were concerns by one of the traditional leaders in the area about the spread of infections, and because people have to use polluted water for many of the things they have to do, washing and all that. Do you have any relief in terms of medical assistance? The Ghana Medical Association was coming over. We understand that the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana has also made some donations. What can you tell us about meeting the health needs of those who've been displaced?
Yeah, the health need is much needed, much needed. The last time I had a meeting with the health directorate, they've created a mobile clinic for the safe haven. So I learned a woman even delivered there, and they are taking care of the people in that manner. But in another aspect of it is the water that is heavily being polluted now that we can't drink, you can't bath with it, you can't do anything with it. So the health implications that it is bringing now is a very, very big major concern, because it started breeding mosquitoes already. Cholera will come in, typhoid, and other communicable diseases, name them. it's not the best. The situation is not the best. So if authorities are listening and they can assist us in that manner too, fine. Because the health center that was created, at least they need certain basic tablets to operate with.
This health center, are the displaced persons visiting it for free? Are they being catered for without any charge?
Yeah, actually, if you have a health insurance, you'll be catered for free.
But many of them say that they've lost many of their items in the flood waters. They've lost their health insurance cards as well. So how are those persons being catered for? Do they have to pay to access health care?
Yeah, actually, because the record is there that they have a health insurance card, they will look at it, and I don't know how they are going about it anyway, but that was what I know.
Right. Thank you for your time this morning. Amos Ahosu is Assembly Member for the Mepe electoral area, one of the areas that has been badly affected by floods as a result of the spillage of water from the Akosombo and Bone dams. We will be monitoring the situation. But some persons living along the Volta River in the Pru East region have had to stay on their farms for more than 3 weeks due to floods in the area. They say they are yet to receive relief items from government agencies. Nanaya Ojima has more in the following report.
In the Pru East district are affected by the flood. Faisal is the last among residents of Volta Lake to evacuate their homes after the floods.
The flood waters have taken over the whole community. I'm the last person to evacuate because my home was on a hill, so I was the last to be affected.
A piece of farmland is cleared for the construction of a hut for shelter. With support from other community members, the wooden structure is nearing completion. Dried grass is used to roof the structure for habitation, but he fears his property may be destroyed should it rain again.
I'm now going to other people's homes for polythene bags to cover my properties. If it rains, I would have to seek shelter from another individual's home.
Faisal's family is one of the over 500 families of Volta Lake to be affected by the flood. Already, some families have completed their shelters. Fanti Ekra is the hardest hit community by the flood. An overwhelmed assembly member, Mohammed, sheds tears.
My house is now filled by victims of flood. We are in need of help now.
Many continue to count their losses as the flood waters are yet to recede. The NDC parliamentary candidate for the area, Emmanuel Kwakubuam, is leading efforts to solicit support for the victims.
Not even the district office of NADMO. They tell you they don't have anything. The region doesn't equally have anything. And please, this is a very serious national disaster. Please, don't let us wait, because health authorities are even warning us of possible water-related diseases. So please, don't let us wait till the unfortunate happens before we can. Some of us have gone to their aid with something small, some water, bags of water, and then places where they can sleep with some bags that they can use for their tents. But it's still not enough.
Joy News investigations have revealed the Pru East District Assembly have been able to secure a piece of land to resettle the Fanti Ekra community. For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima reporting.
Right, so just to paint a clearer picture for you, if you're not too familiar with what exactly is happening, it is that the Volta River, which sources from parts of Burkina Faso down through places like Bono, the Savannah region, because you have the Black Volta, the White Volta, and the Red Volta, all coming in, feeding into the Akosombo Dam, which has then caused the dam to overflow, and not overflow, for the levels of the water to rise, rather, I beg your pardon, and then the VRA authorities need to spill. So those in parts of the Volta and the Eastern region down south are having floods because of the spillage of their Akosombo and Bon dams. But those in the Pru East, Savannah, and in the northern sector are dealing with floods caused by the overflow of the Volta River. And so that's just a picture so that you can get a clear understanding of what is happening. But I've been joined by Alhaji Abdullahi Adams. He's the DCE for Pru East. Good morning to you, and thank you so much for your time. Clearly, the devastation is evident for all to see. Your members or the residents in your constituency have been asking for support. Has any support come, and in what form?
Thank you very much, my sister. Yes, it has been like that. In our part, what we've been able to do for now is to get a place for them to relocate temporarily, whilst we wait for other support from the top, with individuals who have some, and then NGOs. We are pleading with people who have tried support for us to come to our aid, as you see the situation for ourselves. So as an assembly, we've been able to acquire land for the people temporarily. But looking at things, when we got the place for them, they think that place would have been nice for them so that they don't go back to the place, even if the water situation there is or if the place has come back to normalcy, because it might revisit them. So they will think that where we have gotten for them to a temporary place, they would like to stay there for life. But if it stands the situation that they should stay there for life, we need to go back to Nananum and then speak to them, because I don't think Nananum will give the land to us for free. It should be definitely something. Now that it is temporary, it's something small that you give for Nananum to pay for the place. So we are calling on people through this Big Media House to come to our aid, so that
Sorry, Mr. Adams, if you could just speak up a little. It's quite a struggle hearing you. But I would just like to find out if residents of Pru East or other communities around were informed about the danger ahead with regards to the flooding situation, or it came as a surprise.
I think it is a situation that has been come anytime there is heavy rains and the river overflows. Those who live very closer to the lake, it normally happens to them. So it is something that has been, this is not the first time we have experienced this, it has been happening. But this time around, this time it has come more than it has been coming. That is why the situation is like this, as we see.
There was no warning whatsoever from NADMO, you didn't receive any indication from the Ghana Meteorological Agency, for example, about heavy rains which would possibly cause floods, right?
Actually, for that one, I can't speak to that, but what I know is that the NADMO, who are in charge of that, they've been doing all these things anytime there's this situation to them. But
since the floods began? Has NADMO been there since the floods began?
Yes, please.
Okay, and what have they been telling you? Do you need to evacuate more people? Is the flooding situation getting worse?
Yes, some people, after yesterday, I went to a place in Yeji called Pentecostanciano. Some of them have been looking at the thing as we see coming, it has not stopped us till now. What that means is that we should expect more. Thank you. For now, those of our brothers who are in the villages too, things have been relocated to the higher grounds as it is. But by then, they have some of their houses being roofed with iron sheets. But the situation as it is now, they are not in a position to do that. So they are living in these grass houses at the higher ground. So we think if you get this iron sheets or whatever, they can sort of rebuild and then get the place fixed for themselves so that they can be happy once again.
So who is facilitating these evacuations in the communities?
Yes, I went to Nananum. But for those of our brothers at the villages where I visited, they have already relocated. At the time, the day I even got there, when I got there, their youth were already on the higher ground, preparing those thatch houses for themselves. But those in town, we know, because it is in town, we don't have a place just behind you to move, because the people's houses are also behind you, just that the thing has not gotten to them. So that is where you need to get a place somewhere. Fortunately for us, we've gotten a place, but it is temporary place for them. We need so many things to be able to make the place very well fitting for them to be able to fit well.
And has any official, apart from NADMO, we know that the MP for the area has also raised concerns, even in terms of averting this in the future, trying to create other pathways for the water, have useful purposes for the water. Has there been any engagement? So for your DCE, has there been any engagement at that level?
Hello, my sister, I can't hear you now.
Can you hear me now, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
All
now.
right. Please, did you get my question?
No, please.
I was asking if there have been any engagements on what to do to avert this in the future. I know the MP for the area, Mr. Kwabena Donkor, Dr. Kwabena Donkor, has been complaining about this situation and suggested ways the water can be useful instead of it causing this havoc. And I'm asking if there have been any engagements about what to do to prevent the water from flooding homes and get other useful purposes for it.
No, my sister, as I said, this is the fact this year it has come than ever. So this is the time that we are now trying to look at how we tackle it in the future. So that is why we are looking at evacuating them completely from that place, because we think that it will reoccur. So we are thinking of completely for now taking them off of that place to the higher ground, so that place they don't go back if even at all the situation of the water is a little bit okay. So that is what we are in for now. But I think we need to engage more so that we see how we can do to stop this thing from occurring in future. So yes, I think it's a good call for us to sit down, stakeholders of this community, so that as I have started, that is why I'm going to see an announcement. I told them, I don't think that place is a good place for them to be. If even at all the situation is being solved, they shouldn't go back there. And Anonymous have also bought into the idea. So we have started at that level. That is why we have been given. So I've sent my team of fiscal planners to go and then design the place, which they have done. So that is why I'm calling for well-wishers who are looking at us, the NGOs and those who have something in their hands to come to our aid, because if they have to be there permanently, then we need to take stock with Nananum, because I don't think it will be given to us for free. So that is what I think for now. So that at a higher level, the situation of maybe really looking at the situation of the spillage or whatever can also be talked at that level. But at my level here, we are talking about completely taking them from that place so that we don't experience such a thing again in future, because it has been happening. By this time around, it has been overwhelmed.
Thank you for your time this morning. Abdullahi Adams is DCE for Pru East. And if you just joined the program and you're wondering why Pru East is also flooded, it's because of heavy rains that have caused flooding part of the Volta River upstream. and which has caused the water levels in the Kosovo Dam to rise, leading to the spillage, which is causing the flooding down south. So it's not only Mepe, parts of the eastern region, Anglon, and the other places that are affected as a result of this situation with high volumes of water caused by heavy rains. Also, one person, unfortunately, has been reported dead and 3,300 displaced in Makango. And this is due to heavy rains that has resulted in the overflow of the Black Volta, which all is part of the Volta River, Black Volta, White Volta, Red Volta. So we have quite a situation on our hands, and we need to touch base with all those who've been affected by the flood. So stay with us here on the AM show. We'll be reaching out to all these communities and finding out how they are coping. You're still watching the AM show. I'll be back with more, especially on the NSMQ. Do stay.